we're going to get into some esoteric design philosophy here. One of the tricks I did on that boat is that I installed some keel winglets, but not at the bottom at the bulb where everyone else puts them.
Okay.
I had them about halfway down on Rumbleseat, on the blade. They went down like this. And the whole, I'll try and explain this. You know, riding moment as a boat heels over is a number of things, right? It's the sails pushing over here, the keel's over there. You got the water pushing against the keel, making it heel over. And one of the problems when you heel over upwind is you heel over, you have less vertical span.
Right.
The boat skids sideways more, makes leeway.
Yeah.
And part of that's caused because of the fact that the water can slide downward on the leeward side and goes around the tip and wants to escape to the low pressure side, and you get vortices on the tip of the keel.
Okay.
Well, what's causing the actual heeling is the location of, picture a little arrow. Here's the sail, center of effort of the sail here. And the one down here where the water is the center of effort of lateral resistance of the water. Where is that little arrow? The higher that little arrow is, where the CE of the water pressure is, the more dynamic stability the boat will have going upwind. It's like if you imagine the lateral resistance with your finger. You're holding at the tip of the keel, well, it heels over. You hold it up here, it's a little bit less because you're getting less lift off the bottom because you're making less leeway. So on Rumbleseat, I had those wings about halfway down. Everyone thought I was crazy. And it made an enormous improvement in the upwind performance of that boat. It was like a half a knot, which is a lot.
Because you weren't allowing that water to come down.
Right. As it heeled over,
there was a
that
break.
would engage and trap the water flow. So what happens is the water's trying to slide through that area as your boat's going upwind. If it can't go down, not only does it have pressure on the winglet itself, the wing that sticks out, because it's not sliding down, it increases the pressure on the keel above the wing.
Right.
And also, by reducing the wave effect of the water going, there's a wave effect that boats create. It reduces that somewhat. It provides slightly more buoyancy above the winglet in that area of the hull. So basically, it's like a watermelon seed squirting, but that water is trapped in that area. As you push it sideways, it tends to squirt the boat forward a little bit more. So I've been fantasizing, and this boat works quite well, upwind and down, but you're
thinking winglets.
Yeah, don't be surprised if I put some winglets like here.
So, what would be?
They don't do any good downwind at all.
Right.
Because downwind there's no.
But they don't harm any performance downwind either.
Well, it's a little bit drag. It is a little bit drag downwind.
Okay.
So it depends on what sailing. If you're sailing without crew weight,
right,
with less weight on the rail, then the stability of the hull on its own matters more. So if you're doing some short-handed racing and you do a lot of upwind work, then those would help a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you could drive it heel over and make less leeway.
And on Rumbleseat, did you actually figure out where those winglets should go? Was it a bit of a guess, or?
It's a bit of a guess. Yeah, but it worked out quite well. I'm sure that it could be fine-tuned. Like all yacht design things, you come up with an idea, it's an improvement, and then they continue to improve. Look at the wings, the M foils on IMOCA 60s, right? They started doing those 8 years ago, and now they're refining those every time. They're getting them better and better and better. So even though that general concept, I totally believe it's valid, even though I talk to yacht designers and think I'm crazy. I know that to refine my concept would require CFD analysis and some pros.
How far ahead do the winglets go? Do they go all the way around?
Oh, like it'd be like the base. I mean, ideally it'd be higher aspect ratio.
Yep.
If you can make them stiff enough. And it depends on how you build them, right? If you make it out of foam and regular glass, it has to be maybe fairly thick.
Is there any way you could test by having, them clamped on, and then you kind of go out and do test sails, but you can adjust?
Careful getting bond paint on your fingers there.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, it'd be. How could you clamp them on there? That'd be hard. They take some load, right? It's water pulling the fin through the water at an angle of attack.
Yeah.
cruise. There's quite a bit of lift, so the downward force on it when you're going
Well,
upwind
just the mechanism to attach it would
Be
probably
tricky.
negate some of the stuff.
I mean,
yeah.
this is a steel fin that we don't want to put bolts into. So
Right.
it's either going to get glassed on there. Probably, actually, what I want to do is strip the paint off and weld on. I actually have the old bases of the winglets I had on Ocean Planet, which we tried before the Vendée, but the wings howled really bad because we didn't have time to work out the howling, which is a problem with all foils. They can howl.
That's the start of that video you did, the blackout video,
There, it was
Ocean
even
Planet,
worse,
and you could hear the
the howling.
The howling.
Well, the keel howled, and the winglets made it 10 times worse. It was
Oh,
on the trip over to
okay.
France. We only had them on the boat on the trip to France, and we hauled the boat out and cut them off because the howling was. We didn't have time to deal with it. There's all kinds of tricks you can do on foils that howl
Yeah.
or hum. They'll drill holes in them and put lead in there, ferret in, because changing the weight of it changes the frequency.
Okay.
But but we didn't have time to mess with any of
Yeah.
that. So, but I have the bases of those that we cut off stored here, and I might we can weld them on. Well, who knows? But don't be surprised. But that may be something that comes later in the whole project.
Okay. So, the story there is we may have winglets.
Well, and maybe that'll be after a Transpec race because they're not going to help a Transpec race.